Have you ever had a moment where you thought about something for days and then it suddenly appeared in your world like reality was listening? And have you ever wondered whether that is just coincidence, or whether your attention is doing something far more powerful than you were ever taught? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are stepping into a topic that can easily become either a beautiful doorway or a confusing trap: quantum manifestation. The idea that modern physics can explain why intention seems to shape outcomes. You have probably heard people say things like your thoughts create your reality. You have probably also heard skeptics say that is nonsense. And here is where we are going to be honest and useful at the same time. Quantum physics is real. It is one of the most tested and successful scientific frameworks we have. But the way it gets used in manifestation culture is often careless. Many claims online treat quantum words like magic spells. They take terms like observer effect and entanglement and use them to claim that your mind directly collapses the universe into whatever you want. That is not what physics says. And yet, there is still a powerful intersection here. If we approach it with humility, not by pretending consciousness controls electrons like a remote control, but by noticing what the quantum worldview can teach us about possibility, uncertainty, measurement, and how attention shapes what becomes real in our lived human experience. So today I am going to give you two things at once: a grounded explanation of the quantum ideas in plain language, and a practical abundance plan that uses what is actually supported by how minds and lives work. We will treat quantum concepts as a metaphorical compass, not a fake scientific certificate. And I promise you, if you do this right, it will feel both inspiring and solid. Let us begin with the quantum canvas of reality. In classical, everyday thinking, the world looks fixed. A table is a table. A door is a door. A bank balance is a bank balance. You are either rich or not rich. You either have an opportunity or you do not. Reality feels like a set of solid objects and clear yes or no outcomes. Quantum physics showed something very different at the smallest scales. It showed that particles can behave like waves. It showed that what we call a particle is described by a wave function, which is not a physical wave like water, but a mathematical object that describes probabilities. It showed that before measurement, systems can exist in a superposition of possibilities, and when a measurement happens, you get a definite outcome. This is the place where the manifestation conversation usually begins. People hear superposition and say, "So my future is multiple possibilities until I look at it and choose." Then they hear observer effect and say, "So my consciousness makes reality." And that is where the story gets messy. In physics, measurement is not your eyeballs staring at an atom. Measurement is an interaction that extracts information and forces the system to behave in a definite way. It can be a detector, a photon scattering, a device, an environment interaction. It does not require a human mind. Most physicists do not claim that human consciousness is required to collapse a wave function. The observer effect is about disturbance from measurement and information, not about your thoughts being a cosmic control panel. So if quantum physics does not prove that thinking about money makes money appear, what can it offer us? It offers a profound psychological truth that is surprisingly compatible with how humans create abundance. The world is full of probabilities, not certainties. Your life path contains many potential futures. And what you repeatedly measure in your life, meaning what you repeatedly attend to, what you repeatedly reinforce with action, what you repeatedly choose, tends to become the reality you inhabit. Not because your mind collapses electrons in a bank account, but because your attention collapses your behavior into a direction, and behavior collapses probabilities into outcomes. That is the bridge. It is not mystical. It is lived. Now let us talk about superposition and your potential futures, but in a way that actually helps you. Imagine your life as a field of branching paths. Some branches lead to more abundance. Some lead to less. Some lead to new relationships. Some to isolation. Some lead to health. Some to burnout. You cannot walk all paths at once. But before you choose, the options exist as potentials. This is not physics. This is human reality. You could choose to build a skill. You could choose to avoid. You could choose to reach out to someone. You could choose to hide. You could choose to invest. You could choose to spend impulsively. You could choose to wake up early and practice. You could choose to hit snooze and stay in the old loop. In that sense, your future is in superposition, not as a quantum system, but as a field of potential trajectories. Then you make a choice. And here is where the manifestation conversation becomes real. The choice is the measurement. Your action is the measurement. Your behavior is what turns potential into lived reality. So the question becomes, how do you make the choices that collapse your personal probability field toward abundance? It starts with intention, but not intention as wishful thinking. Intention as a disciplined direction for attention and action. I want to tell you a story to make this visceral. His name was Ethan. He was not poor, but he was always tight, always anxious, always feeling like life was one emergency away from collapse. If his car made a strange sound, he would panic. If his job felt uncertain for a week, he would spiral. If a friend invited him somewhere, he would hesitate, not because he did not want to go, but because he was afraid of spending. Ethan called it being responsible. But beneath it was something else. Scarcity identity. Scarcity identity is the inner posture that says, there will never be enough, so you must protect, hoard, fear, and control. It is a survival mode that can begin in childhood, in family patterns, in lived hardship, or simply in the culture of anxiety that many people absorb. Ethan stumbled onto quantum manifestation content online. He loved it at first because it made him feel hopeful. He started visualizing checks arriving. He started repeating abundance affirmations. He started saying the universe is abundant. For a week he felt better. Then his bank balance did not change. A bill arrived. The fear came back stronger. And he felt ashamed, like he failed at manifesting. This is where people either become cynical or they become trapped in magical thinking. But Ethan got lucky in a different way. He met a mentor named Priya who worked in finance but also practiced meditation. Priya had that rare combination of practicality and inner steadiness. Ethan told her he was trying quantum manifestation. Priya did not mock him. She asked him a question. When you visualize abundance, what do you do differently afterward? Ethan hesitated. Honestly, nothing. I just feel hopeful for a moment. Priya nodded. Then you are not collapsing probabilities. You are daydreaming inside the same pattern. That sentence stung. But it was true. Priya said, let us use the quantum idea correctly. Your life has multiple possible futures. To move into a different one, you need a different measurement, a different interaction, a different set of repeated actions. Then she gave Ethan an exercise. For 1 week, every time you feel scarcity panic, do not fight it and do not obey it. Pause, breathe, name it. Then take one abundance-aligned action. It is small enough to be real. Ethan asked what an abundance-aligned action meant. Priya said, not spending money recklessly, not pretending bills do not exist. An abundance-aligned action is a choice that signals trust, responsibility, and growth at the same time. Examples: tracking your spending without shame, making a realistic budget that includes joy, not only survival, negotiating a bill instead of avoiding it, applying for a higher paying role instead of complaining about your current one, learning a skill for 30 minutes instead of doom scrolling, sending one email to a potential client, opening a savings account even if you start with a tiny amount, asking for advice instead of hiding. Ethan did it. It felt awkward. The first time he paused his scarcity panic, he realized how automatic it was. His body was trained to clench. His mind was trained to predict disaster. He noticed that the panic was not always connected to a real immediate danger. It was a conditioned echo. So he took small actions. He tracked spending. He called one service provider and negotiated. He updated his resume. He applied for roles he previously assumed were for other people. He reached out to an old colleague. Nothing magical happened on day one, but something changed in him. A new identity began forming. The identity of someone who responds to fear with action rather than collapse. 2 months later, Ethan got a new job offer. It was not a miracle. It was the result of his measurable actions and his changed confidence. But he experienced it as luck. And here is the point. What people call luck often emerges when preparation and opportunity meet. And preparation is often the result of repeated micro-decisions. Now let us move to entanglement, because this is the concept that gets people the most excited. In physics, entanglement means that two or more particles can share a correlated quantum state, such that measuring one is correlated with measuring the other, even when separated by distance. It is real. It is experimentally verified. It does not mean that everything is spiritual, connected in the way social media claims. It also does not mean you can transmit money with your mind. But entanglement can still teach you something powerful about abundance. Abundance is not only individual. It is relational. It is networked. It is socially transmitted. Your outcomes are entangled with other people through trust, reputation, collaboration, information flow, community support, and opportunity access. When you grow your capacity, you influence your network. When your network shifts, your opportunities shift. When your opportunities shift, your outcomes shift. So if you want abundance, you cannot only think about money. You must think about connections, contribution, and coherence. Coherence means your values, your words, and your actions match. When you are coherent, people trust you. Trust is a form of social energy that opens doors. Now, here is a subtle but important point. Many people try to manifest abundance by focusing on outcomes while ignoring identity. They want money without becoming the kind of person who can hold and manage money. They want opportunities without becoming the kind of person who follows through. They want love without becoming emotionally available. They want health without building habits. That mismatch is incoherence. Incoherence leaks energy. So the entanglement lesson is this. Your abundance is entangled with who you are in relationship to life. Your inner state influences your outer interactions. Your outer interactions influence your results. This is why people say feeling abundant attracts abundance. That phrase can be misunderstood as magical thinking, but there is a grounded version of it. When you feel abundant, you behave differently. You are less desperate, less controlling, more generous, more patient, more willing to take calculated risks, more willing to invest in yourself, more willing to collaborate. People respond to that. Opportunities respond to that. So it is not that the feeling creates money out of thin air. It is that the feeling creates a pattern of behavior that increases the probability of outcomes that look like abundance. Now we come to the observer effect. Science meets intention. And this is where I want to be very careful. The observer effect in quantum contexts is often simplified. In many popular explanations, it sounds like consciousness creates reality. But in physics, the important piece is that measurement changes the system. The act of measuring is an interaction. So let us translate that into your life. Your attention is a measurement. Not in the quantum sense, but in the psychological sense. What you repeatedly attend to changes you. If you constantly measure threats, you become fearful and reactive. If you constantly measure lack, you become anxious and controlling. If you constantly measure opportunities, you become curious and proactive. If you constantly measure gratitude, you become resilient. If you constantly measure your growth, you become disciplined. This is not optimism for its own sake. This is training. Your focused attention shapes what you notice. What you notice shapes what you choose. What you choose shapes what you build. So yes, in a meaningful way, You are an observer shaping your reality, not by bending physics, but by bending your own trajectory. Now I want to give you the practical quantum manifestation action plan, but I will frame it honestly. These are not supernatural techniques. These are methods that use attention, intention, and behavior to increase the probability of abundance outcomes. First, define abundance in a way your nervous system can trust. Many people say abundance and mean money, but abundance is broader. It includes time, health, support, skills, freedom, peace, creativity, and meaningful work. If you define abundance only as a giant number, your mind might treat it as fantasy and shut down. So choose a definition that includes money, but also includes stability and meaning. For example, I create enough resources to feel safe, generous, and free. I build wealth in a way that supports my health and relationships. I increase income while increasing integrity. This matters because intention must be believable to become resonant. Second, practice visualization as probability rehearsal, not as magic. Visualization works best when it trains behavior and emotion together. Do not only picture the end result. Picture yourself becoming the person who earns it and holds it. Picture yourself waking up with clarity. Picture yourself doing the work you avoid. Picture yourself speaking confidently in a negotiation. Picture yourself responding calmly to a setback. Picture yourself managing money with steadiness, not panic. This trains your nervous system for the future. It reduces the shock when opportunities appear. It increases follow-through. Third, build coherence between words and actions. If you say I am abundant, ask what an abundant person would do today. An abundant person might track spending calmly instead of avoiding. An abundant person might invest time into a skill. An abundant person might ask for help rather than hide. An abundant person might deliver on promises. An abundant person might take care of their body so they can work with energy. Then do one small version of that. One action per day. Evidence builds belief. Fourth, use the 2-minute rule to collapse micro-probabilities. Every day, for 2 minutes, do one action that moves you toward abundance. 2 minutes of reviewing finances. 2 minutes of learning. 2 minutes of reaching out to a connection. 2 minutes of organizing your workspace. 2 minutes of planning tomorrow. 2 minutes seems small, but repeated, it changes identity. Identity is the hidden engine of all outcome. Fifth, clean up the scarcity scripts. Scarcity is often not money. Scarcity is a story. I never get breaks. Nothing works out for me. Other people are luckier. I am too late. I always mess things up. These scripts become self-fulfilling because they shape your mood and actions. So here is a method. When a scarcity thought appears, do not argue with it. Label it. That is the scarcity story. Then replace it with a truthful bridge statement, not a fantasy. I can take one step. I can learn. I can ask. I can improve my odds. I can build slowly. Truthful bridge statements create movement without triggering inner disbelief. Sixth, treat setbacks as data, not verdicts. In quantum language, you could say you are sampling outcomes and updating your model. In human language, you are learning. If a plan fails, it does not mean you are unlucky. It means adjust. This attitude is one of the most reliable predictors of long-term success. People who treat outcomes as feedback keep moving. People who treat outcomes as identity collapse. Seventh, build entangled abundance through contribution. This is the part many people skip because it seems unrelated to manifesting money, but it is often the fastest pathway. Contribute value. Solve a problem. Help someone. Share knowledge. Be reliable. Build trust. Offer kindness with boundaries. Create work that is useful. Abundance flows through networks of value and trust. When you become a node of value, your probability field changes. Now let us bring this into a final synthesis, because I do not want you leaving with confusion. Quantum physics does not prove that thoughts directly create external reality by collapsing wave functions with consciousness. That claim goes beyond what physics supports. But quantum physics does reveal a world where certainty is not fundamental. Probability is real, and interactions shape outcomes. If you take that as a metaphor for life, it becomes powerful. Your life also contains probabilities, not certainty. Your attention is a form of measurement that shapes what you notice. Your intention shapes how you act. Your actions interact with the world and generate outcome. Your outcomes feed back into your identity and future choices. This is manifestation as disciplined creation, not as wishing. Now I want to end with a challenge that is both simple and serious. For the next 7 days, run an experiment. Each morning, choose one clear abundance intention. One sentence. Today I practice abundance through one courageous action. Today I practice abundance through one act of integrity. Today I practice abundance through one act of learning. Then close your eyes for 30 seconds and visualize yourself doing that action. Not the final result, but the doing. Then actually do it. Keep it small but real. At night, write down what changed. Not only money, mood, confidence, opportunities, choices. This is how you build proof. Proof is what turns ideas into lived reality. Now I want to hear from you. In the comments, what part of quantum manifestation has felt inspiring to you? And what part has felt confusing? And what is the one abundance-aligned action you will do today that proves you are stepping into a new probability field? If you want more long-form episodes that combine spiritual wisdom with grounded thinking, subscribe to the channel. Like the video so more people can find this conversation. And if you want to support the channel and help keep these deeper episodes coming, consider becoming a member. Ending words for you. Do not use physics as a fantasy. Use it as a reminder that reality is wider than rigid certainty. The future is not a single line. It is a field. Your intention aims your attention. Your attention shapes your choices. And your choices shape what becomes real.